want her to initiate more, to want you to kiss you first, to reach for you in the bed, to send that text in the middle of the day that makes you feel like, damn, she's still into me. But instead, it feels like you're always the one trying, you're the initiator, you're the planner, the one reaching out. And then you've started to wonder, does she still want me? Or is it just the routine now? And let me tell you something that might shift everything. Because it's not that she doesn't desire you, it's that she's in survival mode. And a woman in survival mode does not have the space to feel in her desire, let alone act on it. So why is she not initiating? Let's get real for a second. Most women are carrying a mental and emotional load that would crush most men. They're thinking about what's for dinner, her inbox, that thing her mom said, whether her body is good enough, how you're feeling, how everyone else is feeling, and then on top of that, she was likely raised by women who were constantly doing things for others. Mothers, aunts, grandmothers who just overgave and who put everyone else first, who ran the home, held the family together, and never actually paused. So she inherited that pattern, and it's super exhausting. So when you're hoping that she initiates, she might want to. She might even think about it. But her body, it's in this doing mode, not the desiring mode, not the receiving mode. Desire is born in space, and space doesn't exist in a nervous system that's constantly on high alert. And here is one of the keys. The woman initiates when she feels safe, soft, spacious, and seen. When she feels like she doesn't have to manage everything, that's when she wants to initiate. So I want to share a story because one of my clients, and let's call him Dave, was feeling really disconnected from his wife. And he said, she never initiates, I feel rejected every time I try. But then after just 2 sessions, she realized that he was only reaching out for her at night after she's cooked dinner, put the kids to bed, handled emails, and barely had a moment to breathe. So we shifted that. So he started taking one thing off her plate each day, genuinely complimenting her throughout the day without an agenda, giving her at least 20 minutes of non-sexual touch in the evenings, just presence, and he wasn't touching her for his own validation, expecting sexy time in return. And then also asking, is there something you need help with today? And 2 weeks in, she made the first move, not because he convinced her, but because she finally had the space to feel her body again. If you want her to initiate, learn to recognize what's underneath. Here are 3 layers of female desire. So the first is the mental overload. If her mind is full, her body is offline. Free her mind and unlock her desire. What you can do is ask her, is there anything I can take off your plate tonight? The second, emotional safety. If she's holding unspoken resentment or feels emotionally unseen, her libido is gone, disappears. So what you can do is ask her how she's really feeling and listen without fixing. Then the third is sensual reconnection, because she may not feel sexy because she hasn't had a second to be with her body. So what you can do is give her a slow, no pressure massage, not to get anything, but just to give, and let her feel your presence, not your pressure. Okay, here is something men miss. A woman's way of initiating might look different than yours, and it's not always direct. So it might look like laying closer to you in bed, making playful eye contact, sending maybe a flirty message, putting that outfit she knows you love. Maybe it's touching your arm more than usual. But if you're only looking for your version of initiation, like grabbing her crotch or saying, let's have sex, you might miss the 100 quiet invitations that she's actually giving you. So when a woman feels safe, her body becomes the invitation, and your job is to learn her language. Here's a practice you can try tonight to help her shift from the doing to the feeling. I call this the softening ritual, and it takes just about 15 minutes. So let's set the tone. We want low lights, soft music, candles, or incense, or both. Have her lie down, fully clothed, so there's no pressure, and begin with grounding breaths together. And then gently place one hand on her heart and one hand on her lower belly. And you're going to say, you don't have to do anything right now, just receive. For 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to give her slow, nurturing touch, shoulders, hands, feet, face, and end with a whisper, maybe just saying, you're safe here. This is not foreplay. This is nervous system foreplay. Let her melt and notice what happens in the days to follow. The more a woman is in survival mode, the less she can initiate. But when you create an environment of spaciousness, when she feels seen, supported, and safe, her body wakes up. Her voice gets bolder and louder in a good way. And she wants to reach for you, not out of duty, but out of desire. So if you're ready to be that kind of man who brings that out of her, start with presence, with patience, and start with softening her world. She'll meet you there with her fullest, most turned on self. Want more tools like this? You can always subscribe, drop a comment below if this really resonated with you, and share this with someone who is really craving for deeper connection. And I'll see you next time.